Okay, so this is going to be the last epic hour for the year. That's exciting. Kind of exciting. We were actually just talking on the way here because I was like, I'm late. She's like, me too. I was like, okay. So we were like, oh my gosh. And we were talking about how excited we are for 2021. So I don't know how many of you guys out there are excited as well, but I think it's going to be a completely epic year. And yeah, I don't know. We're going to recap 2020. And
well, you know, one of the triggers for it was for us was that, for those that don't know, Rochelle and I have a business/personal coach that we talk to every month. And we had just an amazing last work coaching session with her. And for me, there was just a big energy shift and change and all these things. I was like, oh my gosh, there's still another week in December left. We were just joking about this, right? And it's like, literally, it's like, dang, how about we post today that, you know, guess what? We're decided it's 2021 already.
We're like, let's just skip the rest.
Yeah, we're just done.
Kind of a waste.
We're just gonna dive in.
But apparently we'd love to be here. So
Yeah,
we'll just enjoy the last few days. So we have lots of interesting stats the team put together, and it was funny because I was like, I don't know, where are we at? What are the things? So we kind of have a month by month recap. So we've got, 50 minutes to go over a bunch of the stuff. And again, we would love your commentary. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to write them in the chat so that we can respond to them in live time. And if you're watching on the replay, we appreciate you too. Don't forget to go #replay if you're watching it after the fact. Hashtag.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Oh,
I have a different idea about that, but okay.
Keep it clean. Let's keep it clean. Okay, so
this doesn't say PP.
All right, what do we got? So at the beginning of, where were we? Some numbers from end of 2019, start of 2020.
There we go.
So at the beginning of the year, we had control of 350 houses worth $60 million worth of residential real estate. So not bad. And that has been basically roughly doubling the portfolio from the year before. So of course, if we double the portfolio from where we are at the beginning of that year versus now, we're looking at big numbers. So in January 2020, we had how many employees?
We had 51.
51. And then where are we right now? So
93.
We're at over 90 team members. That's crazy.
It is.
And this is a fun
It's
fact.
entertaining.
How many people did E.P.I.C send to trade school this year?
So for those who don't know, just a quick blurb here, with our company, we have E.P.I.C Alliance Electrical Inc. as well. And we offer apprenticeship programs in carpentry, plumbing, and electrical. And in regards to that, one of our commitments to making Saskatoon a better place, we actually offer to pay for our apprentices to go to school. So what do I mean by that? What does Rochelle mean by that? We mean that we pay their tuition and we pay their wage while they're in school so they don't have to go on E.I. We also help if they have to move out of town to go to school with their living allowance. And if they have kids, we're willing to help with some form of childcare. So we sent 6 people this year.
Even with all the COVID stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a big, huge gap in timelines, but we still got 6 people off to school. So 1 year closer to getting their ticket. So that's pretty exciting.
It is awesome. I'm excited for that alone.
Yeah, that was a big one.
That's a big ripple effect.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So in January, if we recap, there's some interesting stats there.
So the rental vacancy rate in Saskatoon drops to the lowest level in 3 years. Now there's multiple reasons for that. There were shifts in the industries in Saskatchewan. And also, basically the big one was capital projects basically came to an end, and all the people that were renting closets went, we're out of here, peace, we're following the work, we're heading down east, that's where the work is now. And that's what happened. And so all of a sudden there was rental availability. I'm sure it's even low right now as well for the actual city of Saskatoon because the university never started up because of COVID. So I'm sure it's also still low. And then go ahead.
And then we launched our company newsletter on the 31st of January, and that went every month. And that was really well received, I think.
Yeah.
And
We've
that
been
was
hearing good feedback about it. Lots of people are interacting with it and liking it. And if you're not getting it, throw down a comment here. We'll gladly add you to our email list. We will not be spamming you. You get a newsletter. That's it. That's all. If you want to follow our stuff and be up to date, we are not interested in like sending you 400 emails a month. Follow us on social media for the stuff that we do on the daily. We just decided we are not emailing. We hate it. I hate opening my email and going, oh, look, I have 937 new emails.
Yeah, fifth one from Grant Cardone today.
Right?
Oh,
like, yeah.
Yeah, no, we didn't want it to be spammy. So monthly newsletters. And then also the other side of it too is we are going to start maybe doing another 1 or 2 emails a month, because we have noticed that people don't follow us on social media, and then they're kind of just, you know, not really seeing exactly what's happening. So the reason we started the newsletter was basically, it was investor feedback. Everybody's like, I feel like we don't know what's going on. We know you guys are doing things.
They're like, it's so passive. We forget it exists.
Like,
we're like, whoa, okay, we made it too passive, people. Too passive.
We're like, we need to be top of mind. We need to let people know that we're still here, and people can come in and invest with us at any point in time. And feel free to reach out if you want to do another deal or whatever stuff. We have a few comments here. Vinay says, unbelievable contribution to your local community. You're earning major karma points. We're big into karma points. So thanks, Vinay.
I think this is Karen. You guys are awesome. Stay epic. Love your business model and love how you're making other people's lives better with schooling and safe places to live. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Again, it's just part of that win-win scenarios, and how can we still make money but provide services and benefits at the same time. So again, I think it's coined, I think, social capitalism, kind of one of those things. So some people don't like that capitalism word, but at the same time, it's a business. We always say we're not a charity. We're here to make money. We pay our investors very generous returns. So therefore we need to make good amounts of money for us to still make a profit at the end. And, we've got overhead to cover and all that stuff. But at the same time, you don't have to be a dick. You don't have to be greedy bastards. You can definitely create win-win opportunities. And that's what we've really fostered our entire culture around. So,
and it excites us to know that we can, the bigger our business grows, the more we can give back.
Not related to today's show at all.
Yeah, no, we have another comment. Yeah, it's on Instagram.
Yeah, from Captain Fun.
Captain Fun.
All right. Rental laws, BC versus Alberta, which is better? Alberta, hands down.
BC is like Ontario, man.
Yeah.
Dixney with the
Yes. Again, I don't know the laws inside and out in either province. You can tell with the little bit that I've read or studied or articles and things like that, what the processes are and the lengths of times to remove or evict tenants. And BC seems to be, yes, definitely more similar to Ontario. Alberta has more of a, I call it more of a fair court system like Saskatchewan, where both parties are coming in and they're basically equally being represented in those hearing rooms. Rochelle and I talk about Saskatchewan's here all the time, and how we literally go in and we have it waivers between 97 and 98% eviction rate. And it's a lot of work, but that's how it is. You've got to go through the hoops. You can't just go in there and just pretend it's high school and go, they suck. They have to go, they suck. Well, it's a government agency, folks. You got to do the paperwork.
Yeah. Awesome. Good question though. Yeah. Keep your questions coming. Even if it's not relevant to today, we did that one already. So even if it's not relevant to today, we're good to go. So yeah. All right. So let's move on to what happened in February. So Alisa was on the cover.
This was a weird theme this year. I was on the cover a couple times.
And on the news quite a few times.
Yes, the giant redhead is newsworthy apparently, and things we're doing. It was entertaining. Yes, I was on the cover of, and I think that was for I want to say the copper theft, I think was February. Yeah, so that was a big thing. And ironically enough, verbiage got out there and things that in the end, the government just announced, I think it was beginning this month, they are changing how people can be paid for returning copper. So no more, it's sounding like no more cash payments allowed. So you either have to pay with check and you have to have ID.
So we should be noticing less with the tweakers and
Yeah.
methods breaking into properties, which is great.
As
And-
long as the people paying for the copper abide,
Mhm.
that'll be hopefully something that happens.
Yeah, again, if that's something where we have to go undercover to find out if that's a thing, these are, we've got people for that, right? So it,
We got 93 of them.
yeah, so the whole point of doing that and going in front of the media and making that kind of like an expose is to make people aware that that was happening. We weren't saying we were going to be crashing our business here because that's affecting us. It was just a nuisance that we didn't want to deal with.
Yeah.
Right. And so making it public awareness, some people didn't know. And so obviously you get those irons in the fire, so people get some grease, and all of a sudden there's that ripple effect. It's taken a year to kind of come to fruition, but that's what happens.
And we didn't just rely on that. We in-house made massive changes to bring down copper theft in our properties. I believe the last one we saw was, I want to say August. And so we made massive changes in-house, things like every vacant property is checked maximum every 72 hours. The way we seal up the properties, those kinds of things. There was all kinds of things that we have done to make it so that there's more people coming and going and there's life there. And it has dramatically dropped that. And, so we weren't just whiners that went out and complained about a situation. We were also proactive.
Yep, 100%. And then in February, the 2020 stock market crash begins on the 20th of February, but business continues as usual for E.P.I.C Alliance and our investment partners. So that was a big trend. We had a lot of people that were, with COVID happening, and there was things that were changing, and it was just a lot of uncertainty. And so for that, we had people reaching out and they're like, what's happening? And we're like, again, remember why we invest in brick and mortar and not in the stock market? It's very predictable. Whenever things are starting to change, there's waves, but they start slower in real estate, right? So for us, we're like, we're good. It's all good. And we weren't exactly sure what that was going to look like. And so we were kind of like, okay. And I was still in the States at that point in time. And so then, of course, March happened, and my mom broke her leg in February. So I ended up coming home, cutting my US trip short to come home to surprise my mom for a visit. And then I was here for 4 days, and then everything locked down because of COVID, which was in early March there. So that kind of segues us into March. And then,
yeah, we were announced as a finalist from the NSBA's Indigenous Inclusion Award. And that was pretty cool. So anytime we get nominated for anything, we always appreciate that, because it's funny because Rochelle and I, it's something we have to work on, is celebrating the little wins or celebrating our success. We're so in the trenches and in doing and getting and going. It's not something, so when it always amazes me when other groups or other people acknowledge that, holy crap, E.P.I.C is doing things and there's this ripple and all that. So I love that, when we get acknowledged for stuff.
That was definitely really cool. And then the stock market sees enormous percentage drops. There was Black Monday was March 9th, Black Thursday, March 12th, and Black Monday 2 was March 16th. And because of that, again, everything kind of locked down. We had canceled our sales cruise trip to the GTA. And again, we didn't know what was happening. There's a lot of uncertainty. And then I realized that I was probably going to be stuck in Canada for a while. So for myself, I was like, okay, if the US expansion has to hold on and wait a little bit, what are we going to do here? So for me, I was like, okay. And, just dealing with the client calls and potential new investor leads. And a lot of people were like, I'm just going to hurry up and wait. And I was like, yeah, I don't do that ever. So it's not going to work. So I went to Alisa and I was like, I feel like we need to do some sort of promotion or something to get people really certain in what we're doing, right? And of course, we were doing April 1st, our rate changed for our fund to flip rates. We went from 12% to 10%, and we had announced that about 6 months prior for people to get their money locked up and in deals ahead of time, because we always grandfather in our rates at whatever rate we're in. And so I was like, well, do we slash the hassle-free landlord interest rate from 15 to 13? Like, what do we do? And then I was like, that doesn't feel right to me. I like 15% for our hassle-free. It gives us that 5% spread that's going to be different from the fund to flip. And I was like, no, that's not good. And so I went to Alisa and I was like, what if we do a rate increase, right? What if we give more when everybody else is struggling and they're not wanting to do anything because they're really uncertain? What if we're those ones that are different? We're like, why don't we incentivize you by sharing more of the profit, right? So we were like, yeah, let's do this. We ran the numbers and we were like, let's do 17%, right? So anybody who buys one of our houses will get 17% return on those houses, and then any future houses that they buy, they'll get grandfathered in at that 17%, right? Great, not a bad, promotion, whatnot. And so then I was like, okay, realistically, let's run the numbers. Okay, we averaged about selling 10 hassle-free landlord houses a month up to this point. So I said, well, let's just try to push 50 hassle-free landlord houses in 60 days. We can do 50 hassle-free landlord houses in 2 months, right? Never done it before, but I'm sure we can do it, right? And Alisa's like, sure. And at that point in time, Bailey had just started with us in, Bailey's, you come behind us.
Yeah.
But so come behind us. So you started when? What was your first date?
February 20th, 2020.
Okay, February 20th. So Bailey was really new to the company and she'd been our sales assistant at that point in time. And then just the way everything kind of worked out, it was so funny because, again, if you guys have been following us, you know Bailey's story of how she applied for Alisa's assistant position and then didn't get hired there, but there was this nagging, like Bailey was like, this chick needs to be on our team. And so then she kept saying like, we need to hire her. We need to hire her. We need to hire her. And I was like, then just hire her, but like quit talking about it. Just create a freaking position and shut up, right? And that's pretty much what my response was. And this was happening from the States. So Alisa created this position for our sales assistant. And then when I came back, and Alisa kept telling me like, I think Bailey would be really great to go to the States with you. And I was like, yeah, Alisa, I don't really like people, so probably not going to happen. And she goes on saying that, right? And she's like, no, but she's great. She's amazing. She's smart as a whip. She's patient, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, so then I come back and I meet this Bailey and I realized like, wow, she really is all those things. She's super quick. She's a fast learner. She's patient as F and like all these things, right? And she's just like a great being to be around. And so I was like, maybe Alisa has a thing here. So basically what ended up happening.
For Bailey.
For the idea of bringing Bailey on to the sales team and all that. So from there, I was like, okay, what are we going to do? So just the way our business worked out and whatever, I actually took Bailey under my wing and I was like, dude, we're going to do 50 hassle-free landlord houses in 60 days. Okay. Yeah, that's what's happening right now. And then in March, Bailey and I, and of course the team and everything as well, but we did every one of the sales calls and we were able to sell 52 hassle-free landlord houses in 60 days. And of course, the fallout from that was that every time we sell a hassle-free landlord house, our investors get their money back, but generally they don't want their money back. They want working on another deal. So Alisa and the team also went out, found lots more houses, and we ended up funding 49 fund to flip deals. So at the height of COVID, from what were the dates? It was April 15 till June 15. So 60 days, we pushed through 101 real estate investing transactions, which translated to moving $20.96 million worth of residential real estate. So Bailey obviously proved herself as a rock star at that point in time. And yeah,
I'm still catching up on my
probably won't catch up until she retires.
Good on you.
So thank you, Bailey. Okay, so we have a couple of comments here. So one was again from Captain Fun. Perfect, thank you. My girlfriend and I are looking to move west and we want friendly rental laws. Appreciate your input. By the way, we've met you guys at work. Yeah, I remember you. I know who you are. Yeah, so no, that's awesome. And yeah, if you end up in Saskatchewan, I don't know why people would move here, but there's lots of good cash flowing properties here too. But yeah, I guess out of the two, I think Alberta would definitely make more sense.
It does.
It's just more affordable than BC.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome. Way to make a commitment. And then we have another one here. Lico.
You entrepreneurs are killing it. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thank you.
commenting. That's awesome. Yeah, so very, very cool stuff. yeah, so that's how we were like, let's just make waves and, how can we amp up people's certainty and how can we just make stuff happen? So lots of people just jumped in, whether it was current investors who bought other hassle-free landlord houses or it was other people, whatever. So anyway, and interesting stat there as well. We actually only lost 2 investors during that whole thing.
Yep.
Everybody else stayed invested or brought more funds to the table. And those 2 people who had not wanted to stay invested, they were people that were already a little weedy.
Yeah.
And I just basically gave those opportunities to other people. And I was like, you need to be gone because I do not deal with uncertainty. And I only want people who are 110% solid, knowing that your investment is in good hands. And we're
Yeah, the shaking of the stock market caused a lot of people to pull some of their stuff from there and shift it over to real estate because they're like, yeah, we're kind of done with it.
yeah. Okay, gonna bring more. For sure.
I won't say no.
Awesome. So that was March. And then, so April.
Yes. Oh, we launched the Epic Hour, which is pretty cool. It was April 9th to be exact. And then, we just talked about and then what else happened all summer?
Well, this one was, it says 2020 stock market crash ended on the 7th of April. That's where things started to balance out.
Yeah, it's true.
And then for May, we had launched the 50 hassle-free landlord houses in 60 days campaign. We were still working on that. So again, from April to June, and that's pretty much what we worked on for 2 months solid. It was intense.
Yeah.
Like Bailey and I were probably at the office for 15-hour days, most days. Like it was intense. It was great, but it was intense. So we were like, okay, that was pretty much all we did. We kept doing the Epic Hours, which was awesome. We had a lot of people actually that were super receptive. And it was funny because I was again stuck here and I was bored and I'm like, oh. And so then I was like, why don't we do this thing? Like people do podcasts all the time. People ask about Alisa and myself and what we're doing. We don't get to spend a lot of time together because we do so much conquering and dividing. Everybody knows I deal with the investor side of things more so. Alisa does all the other things, acquisitions and the people, as far as our team members and all that kind of stuff. And then of course for me, I'm also working on some of the US expansion stuff and whatnot. And then once I get into States, that's where it'll really be. It's just investor stuff and setting up more of the systems for US and whatnot. So anyway, it's been nice. It's been fun doing the Epic Hour because we actually get to hang out for an hour a week and, get to talk to you guys.
On each other, great. Who's going to be there first?
Yeah. Are you late? Because I'm late. We're late. We're late.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what we've got in the pipeline for next year regarding the Epic Hour.
Yeah.
And then summer went, great success for the 50 and 60, and then July. Stuff there.
So in July, we were controlling 400 residential properties with the help of passive investment partners. So
That was a big deal.
yeah, and
We launched the affiliate army.
there you go.
So that was, again, we always talk to our team and we're like, hey man, what do you want to do? And what makes sense in your world? And so from there, I kind of had this idea of wanting to start this referral program and just really let people know that this is a huge part of our business. At that point, we'd already paid out over $500,000 in referral fees since we started our company. That's a huge way we've been able to grow our business at an exponential rate. And so when I explained that what I kind of wanted for the affiliate army, and I was like, we need to do like a weekly training call for people who want to be involved and have the monthly stats and whatever. And Bailey's like, I'd really love to head that up. And I was like, done, yours, here you go. So Bailey's our new affiliate coordinator. Again, Bailey still helps with all the sales calls and everything, but that's really her baby and she's done amazing with it. And anybody who's part of the affiliate army can attest that she's just completely receptive and it's just been going really, really well. So thank you everybody who's jumped on board for being part of our affiliate army and the weekly training calls. We appreciate you guys. And if you're interested in finding out more, you can email Bailey, or no, what do we?
Email Bailey at epicalliance.ca or you can email affiliate army at epicalliance.ca.
There we go.
Both of them will come.
So Bailey at epicalliance.ca or affiliate army at epicalliance.ca. We can put those in the chat. So if you're interested in finding out more, because again, there's some people that are getting a passive paycheck just from talking about the
why
opportunity.
don't you throw some numbers? What's the numbers on? What's our referral fee?
So it's $1,000 per closed deal. So if you ended up talking to somebody who's never heard about who we are, what we do, and there's lots of people out there who don't know, and they're so busy.
That's changing
though. Yeah. And they're so busy leading their best lives. And they're like, oh, I have this underperforming invested fund. I know I should be buying real estate, but I don't want to be a landlord. And you could just be like, hey, there's this company that does this thing. They have this hassle-free landlord program, or your fund to flip. You can actually make double-digit returns completely passively in your underperforming invested funds. And then basically from there, you could either send them to our website, or you can, send Bailey or myself a phone number and say, hey, can you give them a shout? We'd like to talk, blah, 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 however that works. But if you're the one who does the introduction and then they end up funding a deal, you actually get paid $1,000 referral fee for every single deal those people do. And keep in mind, our retention rate for investor clients is 90%. So most people stay for life. And the other side of it too is a lot of people, again, it's hard to stay quiet about something you're really enjoying and benefiting from. So there's that ripple effect too. And so if you ended up introducing us to somebody who ends up doing a deal, you get paid $1,000 for every deal they do for life. And then if they introduce us to someone else, you actually get paid $250 for that as well. Not an MLM. We just do it 2 levels like that because we had some people introducing us to really heavy hitters. And those people were really, really well-connected people, but they never ended up investing with us. And so we always wanted to make sure that people still got paid something for those introductions.
There you have it, folks. So if you hear someone saying, I'm thinking about getting a rental property. Oh my gosh, you need to talk to the E.P.I.C girls. They have these amazing programs for dealing with rental properties. And you can be passive and own a rental property and never have to talk to the tenants.
Perfect. Yeah, so that's really all it is, just being top of mind. And yeah, I think we just pressed over $600,000 worth of referral fees paid. And I believe that our top referral person has been paid like almost $150,000 in referral fees. And again, they've been investing with us for 6 years, 5 years, and they've been talking about us quite frequently. But these are real numbers, guys. So anyway, the opportunity is there. I'll leave it at that. Okay, and then
We were in August. Okay. Ooh, we did the Empowering Women in Real Estate Summit. So this was a cool event for us because Rochelle and I find a pretty, let's just call a spade a spade. The real estate industry typically is a very male-dominated industry. Let's just call it what it is. And so for us, it was a pretty amazing feat to have a summit like this that was mostly female speakers and them discussing with all kinds of women about how important investing period is and how you need to, as women, we need to educate more on how finances work and how we need to be better with our money. I have this favorite saying I like to throw out there. I've done some presentations on this, but it's there'll always be another pair of red shoes. Do you absolutely need to go buy that pair of red shoes? And I just say shoes because we all know most women, we very much appreciate shoes. For me, it's not shoes, it's shiny things. I like jewelry. I'm a jewelry hound, okay? I get it, right? I can't walk past like any costume jewelry store and not go, oh my gosh. Anyways, my point being is there'll always be more sparkly things, there'll always be more shoes. And here's the key, get your money working for you so you can have 3 pairs of those red shoes instead of the one that you have to suffer to get.
But you might have to wait to get that money working and then buy those as a reward or as a result, right? So yeah, it's just a mindset thing.
Yeah, so it was cool that we got to be present. I think we were even the keynote speakers. No, we weren't keynote.
Sharon Lecter was.
That's right, sorry. There was another event.
We've done lots.
I can't remember.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's fine. So, and then September, this was a big month for multiple reasons, but we ended up controlling, this was a big benchmark for us. We hit the $100 million worth of residential real estate under our control that month. That was a huge number. The doubling every year is cool, but that 100 million was like super epic because it was just like a quintessential shift. Because that was like, okay,
we're real, damn it, we're real.
Yeah, because there's not many real estate investing companies who can say they control over $100 million worth of residential. Yeah, and so for us, we were like, that's a game changer. So that was a huge milestone. That was really, really cool. And then you know what else happened in September? We added to our marketing team
Right.
And we actually hired Michael and Yell.
So they are actually sitting here, of course. because- Yeah. So say hi. Say hi. So we are so, we're gonna say it again. I don't know, can they see you or is it too
I'm
dark?
very bad.
Oh, okay. Well, then come around. You guys come around. And you can come, we're gonna talk about YouTube for a minute.
I'll monitor the chat.
There
Okay,
you go.
thank you.
Bailey's got it. So we are super excited to have these guys and also their manager, supervisor, Adil. And it's been the ideas that these guys are coming up with and the ability that they're looking to try and get us on point and organized. And Rochelle and I are such crazy big thinkers, and they have just embraced and engulfed and just jumped on board with all of that. So we're super appreciative and happy to have you guys here and thankful that you guys are like educating like bosses, not afraid to be like, you know, I don't think this will work. Let's try this. We're super thankful that you guys came on.
Yeah,
So,
100%. And it's completely that pivoting and adapting,
Yeah.
right? It's like do or die,
Yeah.
figure it out. And so yesterday we actually had an amazing marketing meeting
mhm.
that the marketing team had put together, and it was great. And I think that also is why I was super excited for 2021 because there's so much stuff happening,
Yeah.
and I feel like now we actually have the capacity because we have a full-fledged team who can make it all happen. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
And then of course they keep everything running and behind
Yeah.
the scenes. And of course
Yeah.
with all the social media content,
And they
the
don't
advent
have-
calendar,
They don't have strokes and heart attacks when we come in, you know.
million miles a minute.
And 30 seconds before the epic hour starts.
So pretty fun.
Or a couple minutes after.
All right, and then so that was a big deal in September, and then
Yeah.
in October.
Yay. This was, for me, this was one of our huge pivotal moments. We expanded into another city for product. And super glad we did because with COVID and all the things that have happened in Saskatoon, there hasn't been huge amounts of houses on the market. That's going to shift again in the new year. But it was just great timing for us to look for more product in another place. But the fact that we had the capacity to go to another city and start doing what we're doing and making waves and changes and all the things, that alone for me was an epic moment in this journey. Yeah.
Yeah, and we knew that that would kind of be the beta test for us starting up in the States.
Yeah.
Because again, stuff in the States would be different because we're not going to be having all the team members in-house, but at the same time, it's systemizing and communication and setting up all of the things that we had the bandwidth to do it. And so that was really good. And again, if anything were to go wrong, it's only an hour drive.
Yeah.
So it was something we could go in, course correct, and figure it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's been really great. And again, partnering with Drew was on a past Epic Hour, has been absolutely a game changer and something that we realize whenever we go into a new city, we need somebody who is in that city, who knows all the ins and outs and what, you know, who's who and what's what and all that stuff. So yeah, it's awesome.
Absolutely. It was cool.
And then in November, Bailey and I hit the road, and we were on the road for, well, by the time we were gone, like travel time and we were gone for 3 weeks. So that was a lot of November. And for us, that was crazy. We were so just completely floored with everybody who reached out to meet. And I don't even remember the exact stats of how many people we met and all the days. It was crazy, but I want to say we had 35 in-person meetings during that time. So it was quite wild. We got to catch up with lots of real estate investment friends
And there
that
was,
we have.
you guys had such amazing conversations. And
Yeah,
it
just-
looked so fun.
It was, and it was just like literally completely fed my soul because, you know, it's tough to kind of talk about your day-to-day when the people in your day-to-day have no idea what you're doing,
Yeah.
right? And people out in Ontario, there's a lot more active real estate investors. And, you know, we're all doing our own different things, but we all understand the entrepreneurial process and having investors and doing the things and having the team members. It's just a different dynamic. And so to be able to have that tate-to-tate and, you know, just really talk to your people is a really big deal. And that phone call, I'm not a phone person, so I don't talk on the phone a lot. So I'm really into that in person. And yeah, definitely,
Well, and you guys, you mentioned you drove, right?
we drove.
Yeah, you drove there. So
Yeah, we drove.
that's, yeah.
Yeah, drove there. It took us about 3 days to drive there, 3 days to drive back. So even though we were gone for 3 weeks, it was kind of like a week of driving and then 2 solid weeks of visiting. But yeah,
And they came back the day after we had the blizzard that shut the city down.
yeah, we missed the big huge blizzard, which is great. I don't mind that at all. But yeah, it was wild. I actually had investors from all over Canada were like, "Oh my gosh, I saw on the news. So sorry. Like, you must be whatever." I'm like, I'm not even there, but I'll pass it on to the team.
You guys were texting the wrong person. You were supposed to be texting me. I was the one shoveling and doing all the things.
I passed on the messages. Yeah, so it was pretty epic. Yeah, and that happened in November. It was the biggest snowfall that we've had in
Decade. It was a long time. Yeah. And then it was funny because you guys got back and literally you were filming an Epic Hour, and that's how you were back in the city, basically. It was
Yeah,
funny.
we were trying to race home to make it in person for the Epic Hour, and we made it.
Yeah.
Yep, I have
Surprise.
my old bunny guy.
Yes, that was the other thing. Yeah. The rocker buddy.
My rocker buddy. Yeah, he made it safely to my sister's house for the kids.
Yes.
Following 2 weeks, but yeah. And then in December, we wanted to do something a little bit different. So we had wanted to do 25 hassle-free landlord houses in 25 days. So we wanted to kind of have like an advent calendar so we can have like a house a day.
Mhm.
So this was interesting because it was different. So we ended up getting to 20 houses.
Well, it's still pretty amazing.
Pretty good, almost a house a day. So thank you guys for everybody who partook in that. It was very cool. And again, social media team did amazing. They had that beautiful advent calendar.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was
I
so
like,
neat.
"Ooh,
Yeah, and it made
better than chocolate."
yeah, it made the Instagram grid look really, really cool. So that was well done. And then December 1st, we finalized the purchase of our Avenue and office. So we did the Epic Hour last week, I think, about that one.
Mhm.
And so that was pretty cool too. So Epic now owns its first commercial property.
Yes.
So
Basically, we're land barons officially. We have an acre of land. And
yeah, pretty cool. And again, something that totally came out of left field.
Yeah.
It was not something we predicted, not
Nope.
something we planned.
it was new for 2020.
Yeah, so that was fun.
We were like, it was a huge blessing because it was that you can watch the whole episode, but we literally gained control of a commercial property and we didn't have to go to a bank to do it.
Yeah.
So,
All about the win-wins.
yep.
Okay, and then
Yay, numbers.
we have actual stats of team put together. So
Yeah, that's
for those of you who like the numbers, here we go, hard hitting. So throughout this last year, 2020, we sold 114 hassle-free landlord properties.
and where are we going in 2021?
So that ended up being $28,840,000 worth of properties. We purchased 232 fund to flip properties, which represented $53 million worth of residential real estate. So just to give you guys an idea, we are stacking up for hassle-free landlord inventory. So we are definitely going to be gearing our marketing in the new year to educate people about why they should be investing in real estate. Mortgage rates are just completely bottomed out right now. It's pretty much free money. If you are not investing in brick and mortar, what are you even doing, right? So again, we're going to be really pivoting our marketing and really trying to hit the average person who thinks that they could not invest in real estate and show them that even if you only had $25,000, we have houses that can fit that price point. Let's go, right? So anyway, you'll see a lot of that stuff coming in the new year. And then we also, this was a big win, we gained 102 new investors. That's huge. And we couldn't do that without everybody sharing who we are, what we do, having our amazing team, and being able to grow and impact people's lives. And we're so huge into that ripple effect. So, every single investor has their own why and have their own stories. And in the new year, we're also going to, in 2021, try and feature a lot of those new stories. We get emails from people all the time about, what you're using your funds for, how those investments have impacted your world. Some of you retired early, that's amazing. And we just want to be able to feature more people and kind of spotlight how working with us has impacted your world. So watch for that coming up. soon. And then a fun fact here, we actually found our investors to fund our US expansion. So that was a big deal. So we actually have $1 million worth of capital that we have from Canadian investors to start the US expansion. So there's some crazy stuff we did in the background there to make it all work well. And we had 3 investors who partook in that. And then all those investors who partook in that opportunity were actually new investors in 2020. So that was a big deal.
There you go.
Very, very cool. And as of today,
We have 500 properties. with our investors.
that's a huge milestone right there.
Yeah,
That's another
we'll
one.
have to do a Facebook post on that,
Mhm.
folks, because that right there that's pretty wickedly cool.
It's something I think about the round numbers.
Yeah.
For the $100 million of real estate control, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
And again, the 500 properties was a really big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we added in 2020, we pushed through $81 million worth of residential.
Almost
real estate.
82.
So, yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. Do we want to do a tour?
We can.
I don't know the logistics of this property.
I do. So this is actually a Hussein house. So who is the gentleman that we featured? He's one of our wholesalers, contractors we work with, and another one of his projects. So this one just finished here and is now available for HFLP, I believe, or
Yeah,
if it's-
HFLP.
Yeah. So this is a product for HFLP for those watching. If you're like, I wonder what their products are. So I want to say it's 265, 290.
I don't know.
Okay,
We'll look
okay.
Okay,
Bailey's
we'll look
on it.
up, So
Yeah.
but
So-
this one's available. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll take you guys on a tour.
So for those that are like, what kind of products do they have? Well, we have products like this. Look at this window.
Now it's available for rent
Yeah.
as well as
Yeah.
self-eval.
So as you can see, it's got new paint, a couple of little hiccups here we got to correct, but it's pretty much ready. So we need to put so here's one. For those that have rental properties, thermostats. Okay, we never use battery operated thermostats. You want to know why? The tenants pull the batteries and your furnace goes down. This is a huge issue in places where you have things called winter and your furnace goes out. And then someone's calling you at midnight because that's how long it takes for the house to cool down. And they're like, the furnace isn't working. And then you send a plumber at, $65 an hour to throw batteries in a thermostat. So what we do is we change it, but you can see the digital ones are bigger. We just have to come. And what we started doing is you can buy sheets of tub surround. So it's just a little piece of like tub surround plastic that we cut out and caulk and we just put in behind there. And that's all we have to do. And then that's corrected this issue with the wall. So that's creative for dealing with properties and stuff. So yeah, here we have just the bedroom. But again, here's another one. We always get our contractors to screw all 4 sides of the heat registers down because then tenants can't use it as garbage chutes. Because that happens. I hate to say it, but it does. So again, this is a nice 3-bedroom up house. Good sized bedrooms. Again, nothing fancy, but it's clean. It's got good lines. It's a solid house.
It's a little fancy.
Yeah, yeah. Every once in a while, Hussein likes to go all out for us. I just chuckle. And that's, yeah, there we go. And then Michael's in there. You can see him. And so you can tell it's a good sized room, right?
Yeah.
There's lots of people out there, they're going, I wish I had a bedroom that big. And then here we have the kitchen, brand new kitchen in this one. So this house does have a garage out there as well. So you can see another nice new kitchen ready for the fridge and stove and all those things. And you saw the living room was an L shape. So it's a good size dining area living room. And this house with the garage will probably get right around 2-ish, maybe 2,100 in rent per month for this. Finished basement, again, really simple vinyl plank flooring, our 3 bulb lights, nothing too fancy. New furnace, new hot water heater, new electrical. This is how we like them because then they've got longevity, easy to repair because everything's simple. There we go. We've got bathroom. And 2 more bedrooms in the basement. So we actually added these windows so that we have the full-on egress windows for fire. And that's it. There you have it. Another property done. Well, I'll head back upstairs and super excited that this one went super well. Love working with Hussein. For those that haven't seen the episode, I watch it. It's funny. He's such an excitable guy, and he's so passionate about his work and what he does and his partnership with us. So pretty awesome. And there you have it. There was our walkthrough.
Perfect. So we looked up the numbers. So this house is available for 290,000.
There you go.
Yeah, stronger cash flowing property for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So we got 5 more minutes. Do we have any questions before we end off Epic Hour for 2020?
There is an episode next week, though.
That's January.
Yes.
Yeah.
It sounds like we're raising a lot.
Oh, no, that's 2021.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So mark your calendars for that. Okay.
Oh, great.
So 2021, we are going to have the next Epic Hour, the first one of 2021,
Yep.
on January 7th.
Lucky number 7, they say.
At
Noon Sasky time, 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern.
And this one, I'll take you on the tour of because it's going to be on one of our freshly launched Airbnbs. Woo-hoo! So we're just finishing that this week, and then it will be ready for a tour on the 7th. And this one is actually 2 suites. And I think that one we are sold into the hassle-free landlord program. Taylor. Yeah. So that one's a new hassle-free landlord property.
Jimmy has a question. What is the final number of properties? 500 we hit today.
That's the total property.
Properties.
And then as far as the dollar values, again, our goal is always to double our portfolio. Last year, we were at 64 million. This year, our goal is to hit 128 million. We're just a little shy right now. We still have a few deals put together and everything, but
I have 5 packages of houses I'm working on.
Yeah.
So
we'll be
the
pretty
number
close.
is going to be damn close.
pretty close. So yeah,
All right.
thank you.
Is that's all we got? We got tons of comments and congrats on an amazing 2020. Awesome. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll still look back at 2020, even despite COVID, and it was still an amazing year for us. So it just goes to show you, no matter what your circumstances are, you can still have an amazing life.
Yeah, it's all about what you do with what you're dealt, and also your mindset and just the actions, right? So make sure you're doing the things, pivoting and adapting when need be, and we'll all go through this.
All right.
Oh, and it looks like we have a comment.
I'm just gonna say it.
Yes.
Okay.
So Neil is asking, what is the amount in millions you guys plan to get from the US market?
So in the US, and we'll really hit these numbers hard in next week's Epic Hour, but really, and I was just talking to Alyssa about this on the way here too. So if you look at our growth plan, as it was a 10-year plan to double our portfolio to hit $1 billion worth of residential real estate under our control. But essentially, if you look at the numbers, we ended this year at like, we'll say it's 125. Then next year we would end the year at 250 million. Then the year after that, it'd be $500 million. And then the year after that, it'd be $1 billion. But that's 3 years. I'm out and retiring from the day-to-day of the business in 2 years. So selfishly, I want to hit $1 billion before I retire. So I'm actually trying to shave off a year off of that goal. So when you're looking at numbers, I'm looking at it as a compound effect. Next year would be the easiest year to shave off, because if we can hit $500 million by the end of next year, then we just have to double it the year after. So we don't know the exact numbers, but the way we've been kind of running it is we know that once we expand in the States, we're going to grow at an exponential rate because of many reasons. One, there's more
people,
Americans, more
houses.
deals. Yeah.
Their mindset's different. They're a little more, not risk.
Like risk tolerant.
Risk tolerant.
And
that's
it's
it.
not that there's risk in anything,
Yeah,
but they're just more open-minded, I think. And I think
they just jump faster.
they're
It's
more
just
action.
nature of the beast. And honestly, the number that's coming to me is probably for every one Canadian investor, we'll get 4 American
Yeah,
investors.
Yeah, and
It's
I'm thinking,
because,
I was thinking
yeah,
1 to 5.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's going to be pretty wild. And we are going to be reaching out to anybody who has been on our wait list, wanting to know when the US was opening. We have about 25 people on that list. So January 4th, when I get back into the office full time, literally going to start bringing those phones, getting people over to the mortgage broker in the States to get pre-qualified for hassle-free landlord houses, people with IRAs, people with any of those 401ks, any of the products that they're wanting to transfer over to be able to do the fund to flip opportunities. We're going to get those connections made, money rolling over so that people can get started investing out there. I also have some Canadians who have expressed that they have US funds they would like to move over to our investments, which is amazing as well. So basically my plan is, and we'll be announcing this all next show and whatnot, but my plan is to get to the States by the end of January. And then at that point, we can open up the US bank account and we can hit the ground running. The teams, I had phone calls with everybody this week. They're raring to go. They're starting to send me properties, and we're just all steams ahead.
So here we go. We're coming after the American Saskatoons for product, and we're
So
excited.
if you're in a market, and we're definitely sticking to more of the eastern half of the States, but if you know that you have a market that is Saskatoon and you're down there and you want to do all the boots on the ground stuff and you maybe want to partner us on our journey to $1 billion, reach out. We can always have a conversation because there's going to be so much opportunity. It's going to be 2021 is going to be so lit. It's going to be unreal.
So bright, I gotta wear shades.
So thank you guys for joining us. We hope you enjoyed and have an epic end of the year, epic new year, and we'll catch you on the flip side. So thank you guys.
Stay epic.